On the 10th of October 2004, Michael Schumacher, already a 7-times world champion, won the Japanese Grand Prix to bring his total wins of the season to 13, a new record. That record has never been beaten, and has only been equalled once in 2013 when Vettel decided he fancied winning the last 9 races in a row to completely dominate the second half of that season. I mean, he was already winning the championship before that point anyway, but 9 races in a row is really kind of twisting the knife, you know. There is obviously a slight difference between the two seasons, with Schumacher winning 13 races in an 18-race season, whereas Vettel did it in a 19-race season, bringing their win percentages to 72.2% and 68.4% respectively. 2 absolutely titan seasons that will live in F1 history forever. And now, in 2022, after the Belgian Grand Prix, with 8 races to go, Max Verstappen is already on 9 wins, and looking, for lack of a better word, unstoppable. This begs the question, is Verstappen likely to break this insane record? And actually, can he go on to have the most dominant season, from a driver's perspective, in F1's history? Firstly, the numbers. Obviously, for Verstappen to equal this record, he needs to win 4 more races this season, and if he wants to beat the record, he needs to win 5 or more. Those ones are pretty simple. To hold the record for the best season ever, percentage-wise though, is a little more tricky. To beat Schumacher's 72.2% win percentage record, Max will have to win 7 of the 8 remaining races to bring his total to 72.7%. And actually, even this would not give him the record for the highest ever win ratio. In 1952, Alberto Ascari won 6 of the 8 races that year to win 75% of all the rounds. Now, it's obviously a little different to compare these seasons. Driving 8 races is not quite the same thing as driving 22 races, but still, records are records. Verstappen can still beat this record, but if he wants to do that, he will have to win all 8 remaining races. Is this possible? Well, yes, obviously. Have you seen Verstappen drive? Obviously it's possible. But is it likely? Well, that is a slightly more complicated question. We need to look at the remaining races on the calendar and see how well they suit the RB18 and also how well they suit Verstappen. Our 8 remaining races in order are Zandvoort, Monza, Singapore, Suzuka, Kota, Mexico, Interlagos, and Abu Dhabi. Some of these we can talk about quite quickly. Monza should be a relatively straightforward win for Verstappen, considering the insane straight line speed that his RB18 has. Mexico too, for similar reasons, and actually Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez has always been a strong venue for Red Bull, with Verstappen already winning here 3 times in the past. Now, obviously I'm sure Perez would be keen to win in Mexico, but is Verstappen just going to pull over and allow him to do that? No. Based on track layout, Abu Dhabi should also be a relatively easy win for Red Bull and Verstappen given current car performance. And also actually, I wouldn't be surprised if at this point in the season, everyone else has basically just given up. So that's 3 very strong win opportunities for Verstappen already. How about the other races? Both Zandvoort and Suzuka are high downforce, high degradation tracks. On paper, these actually favour Ferrari and to an extent Mercedes, which is very kind on its tyres this year, more than Red Bull. These races therefore could be a little tougher for Verstappen. We're more likely to see things like a Ferrari on pole at these tracks. But then again, if this season has taught us anything, a Ferrari on pole in no way, shape or form guarantees a Ferrari win. Also, I've heard a rumour that there might be a few Dutch people in the crowd at Zandvoort, just a few. Driving is a mental sport as much as a physical one, and this insane orange home field advantage that Verstappen has in Zandvoort this weekend, it makes a difference. It's genuinely worth a 10th or 2. So these 2 tracks should be a little more challenging for Verstappen to win, but a win is very much still on the cards here. It's been a few years since we've been to Singapore, and so for those of you who have forgotten, it's basically like fast Monaco, or not as fast Baku, somewhere in between the two. High downforce and street track, again, should mean that this is a strong race for Ferrari. Ferrari's race to lose, you could say. But also, then again, if this season has taught us anything, it's that if Ferrari has an opportunity to lose, they will go ahead and take that opportunity, both hands full grip, grab onto it and hold on for dear life. Oh, those Italian boys, they love losing, they do. To be fair though, that is also kind of downplaying Verstappen's skill. Singapore is a highly technical and extremely physical track due to the very high average temperatures and also extremely high humidity experienced during the race. It's a race that favours well-prepared, in form and highly talented drivers, and really, Verstappen is looking like all three of those things right now. So again, maybe not as much of a clear favourite for a win here in Singapore, but Verstappen still has plenty of chance to take this trophy. COTA is a bit of a weird one. It's kind of fast, but it also kinda isn't. In many ways, it's actually similar to Silverstone as a track, which this year was quite a strong track for Ferrari. Not really strong for Ferrari, but strong. It was also, though, a strong track for Verstappen this year until obviously he picked up some damage at the start of the race and dropped back on pace. Remember, all of that was also several months ago now, and F1 development moves fast. It's hard to say exactly which car COTA is going to be best for, but it's definitely not going to be bad for Red Bull. Expect Verstappen to qualify third at the lowest, and again, chances of a win are high. If COTA was a weird one, Interlagos is a really weird one. In the last 10 runnings of the Brazilian/Sao Paulo Grand Prix, it has only actually been won by the drivers' champion of that year twice. It's pretty hard to predict a winner here due to the mid-downforce, mid-speed nature of the track, and also the strong chance of variable weather and safety cars, which have had a habit in the past of throwing this race just all over the place. If one thing's for sure though, Interlagos is a driver's track again, which favours those who are naturally quick and also calm in unpredictable circumstances, such as Verstappen in his current form. Something deep down in my gut just tells me that Verstappen will win in Brazil. I can't explain it, I just know. And those of you who have watched a lot of videos on my channel will know that my predictions are always correct. So in conclusion, based on current form, I would predict Verstappen to win somewhere between 4 and 6 of the remaining races this year, either equaling or just beating the wins in a season record. The percentage wins records are harder to beat. With luck on his side, I could see Verstappen getting 7 wins and beating Schumacher's record. I really don't see him getting all 8 though. The chances of damage, a turn 1 incident, mechanical DNFs when the engine just goes nope, or just the chance of someone else getting really lucky with safety car timings with their pits, means that winning all 8 races is so unbelievably unlikely. And also, you know, Perez or one of the Ferrari boys might just have a good weekend and win a race on pure pace. Other people are allowed and able to win sometimes. One other thing to note, if you're watching this video in December and Verstappen has just won the final 8 races of the season, this would mean that he's actually won the final 11 races of the season and has absolutely demolished the consecutive wins record previously set at 9 by Vettel back in that 2013 season. Those 9 wins in a row are a wild record, particularly considering modern F1 with limited engines for the year and also cars the size of boats, which means that contact is pretty likely. If Verstappen were to do that, to win 17 races this season, with the season wins record, the wins percentage record, and consecutive wins record, then quite frankly, this should be going down as the single greatest season by a driver in F1 history. No doubt about it. And honestly, it's actually not looking that unlikely at this point, even if he doesn't achieve all of those records. To even equal the 13 wins record this season would be a huge achievement for Verstappen, who, let's not forget, for most of this season has been driving the second fastest car, at least on single lap pace. A season for the history books, a masterclass on dominating the championship. Also a masterclass on how not to run a race team by Ferrari, but that's a whole separate issue. Let's not detract from Verstappen's victories here. Verstappen is steaming towards his second title, and the man deserves it. What other records do you think we could see broken in the next few years? Let me know down below. I've been Mr. V. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like to let me know. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and until then, stay safe, and I'll see you guys later.